Yeah, The Making of a Slave by Willie Lynch. And how I've been so hard on talking to all our black people and about this Willie Lynch letter. This Willie Lynch, this letter that was rolled back in 1712. And who was Willie Lynch? Was a slave owner, slave master who was from the West Indies. And he guaranteed to tell the other slave owners that his method was going to work. How you take a black man and you control him and you put the black man versus the black woman. See, us as black folks don't study enough. And to this day, Willie Lynch guaranteed that his method years ago was going to work and keep working year after year after year. And you know what? We still living in that effect today. Because we can't get past ignorance and we can't get past the white man did this and the white man did this, did that. So I just wanted to come on here and hit on this letter. This letter was rolled in 1712. And when I get through with this, black folks, I want y'all to really examine yourself and look at where we at to this day. And ask yourself when I get through with this. If you ain't never read Willie Lynch, hey, I posted the letter on here. I really wanted people to read this letter for themselves. But I know there are going to be some that don't want to read. And I want to just point through some certain little facts in here that Willie Lynch wrote. And I just, first of all, I'm not racist or nothing. I love black people. I love white people. I love everybody. But this letter is so important to me. And when I read it a long time ago, it made me wake up and really start looking at how we do each other. So let's get into it. Willie Lynch wrote this letter in 1712 on the banks of the James River. And Willie Lynch was showing that he was guaranteed that what he was finna teach the rest of these slave owners, it was gonna work. But you know what I look at first when I read this? He said, I'm just gonna quote this blunt. Take that young slave nigga and put him versus the old slave nigga. And what we see to this day, we see the old men getting into it with the young men. There is no respect. It used to be back in the day that if you would even walk down the street and there was an elder on the street, you would walk on the other side of the street as a young kid. You would have respect. But now, if an old man walking down the street, he moves to the other side because the young niggas is going down the street cussing. And if the old man get out of line and say one thing, the young nigga's going to be ready to kill him. Young nigga versus old nigga. God almighty. Oh, now let's look at this. Take the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. How many women do we always see going at it? Because the color of their skin. You light skin, you dark skin, you got real natural hair. Your hair is weave. We see conflicts and next thing you know a fight breaking out behind somebody talking about somebody's hair. It's black folks. Take the light skinned slave nigga versus the dark skinned slave nigga. Good God almighty. And this the one I really looked at it. He said take this dumb slave nigga versus the smart slave nigga. See what we see nowadays, you see a lot of people got education, men and women, black folks. They take their education and they use their education and they so high with their education that they look down on everybody else in so many ways, but not everybody. But they will look at you and throw their education at you like you a dumb nigga. Like I was saying about the woman that makes 6 figures. To so many men, they are dumb niggas to them because their education done went to their head. Willie Lynch said, take the smart slave nigga versus the dumb slave nigga. Good God almighty. See, when we look at this stuff like this, his plan worked. It's still working. It controlled slaves. And he was talking about when you take the man versus the woman, the black man versus the black woman. Take that nigga man versus the woman. That black nigga woman. And the abuse. And this is so hard up, folks. Look at this, women. I want y'all to see this right here. This is why you got this independent mentality. Women, black women that show I'm independent. I don't need no nigga. That's what Willie Lynch said a long time ago in his letter, 1712. Because he said, you go get the biggest nigga, the strong nigga. Get that strong nigga and you get 2 horses. Tie that nigga left leg to that left side of the horse. Tie that nigga right leg to another horse. God almighty. And while that's going on, the woman and the baby is sitting there watching this. And set that nigga on fire. So when he set him on fire, the horse is going to go. You got a horse going right and you got a horse going left. Just torching the man while the black woman is looking at it. And you know what it said after that? Go get another black man. Same thing. Let them be strong. See, that's why we got so many people strong with muscles, and they strong physically, but their mind is weak. And that's why I believe this to this day. Because he said, go get another strong nigga. Get a whip and beat that nigga till he half dead. Oh, see, we don't want to hear stuff like this. Get a whip, but don't kill him, but beat him till you almost got an inch of his life left. While the black woman and the child is still looking. That way that woman know never to depend on the man. She got to make it on her own because she know that nigga ain't going to be no good. So what is that doing? That's training that woman to be independent, and it's also training that woman's child. And every child that come out to her, this is what mama had to go through, baby. Watch this. We ain't gonna need no niggas. We independent. That's why we got this independent. We got black on black crime. We got mothers against daughters. We got fathers that ain't seen their own son in years. We got black on black harder than anything. Willie Lynch took a color of a person, they skin. He would take a black man and use that. He would use color. He would use size. He would use sex. House nigga, field nigga. See, people, when we look at this stuff, the controlling of a slave, some of us can't get this in our mind. And we got a choice to move forward or backwards. But we make this letter, Willie Lynch letter, stay in effect. Because there's too many women independent. And got good brothers coming along that want to be a part of their life, but they don't want them. They too independent. Just like Willie Lynch made them back then. Slave mentality. God Almighty. Y'all read the making of a slave by Willie Lynch, please. Please read it. It is not real long. You can read it and understand how he used his method to control slaves. He said, I guarantee you this will work for years and years. And it's still going on to this day. I'm black, you light-skinned, but I got a problem with you because you light-skinned. Take the dark-skinned nigga versus the light-skinned nigga. Take the strong nigga versus the weak nigga, the old nigga versus the young nigga. We got so much black on black crime right now. That's why I keep talking about how ignorant we make ourselves. We got more and more black folks fighting black folks. And we can't pull together. The Making of a Slave by Willie Lynch. I didn't go through everything, but I just kind of wanted to just paraphrase and summarize through that because I still want people to read for themselves. How he took the black woman, separated the black woman from the black man. Good God Almighty. Made the woman and the children watch as a man was being tortured, being burnt, being whooped almost till he couldn't even, whooped almost half to death. Because she know that she got to depend on herself. How he used sex. God Almighty. Black niggas sleep with the white man. See, we got people walking around this day with slave mentality. See, this is a serious video. And I wish everybody would read The Making of a Slave by Willie Lynch. I'm not putting this on here to make you mad, black folks, but to think. Think about what the white man did back then and how it's still in effect to this day. Put the nigga versus the nigga. Put the strong nigga versus the weak nigga. Put the smart nigga versus the dumb nigga. Put the young nigga versus the old nigga. Put the women versus the women. Willie Lynch made it so a man couldn't trust a woman and a woman couldn't trust a man. And to this day, that mentality is still going on. I don't trust you, nigga. And nigga, you don't trust me. And we make this so true. Because it is true. Good God Almighty. Black folks, when we gonna wake up and stop living in this Willie Lynch syndrome? Came 1712 on the banks of the James River. And to this day, here it is, 2000 going on 11 in a few days. And we still living by the Willie Lynch syndrome. I'm sorry. I got to say that. We got more and more black folks cussing each other out. We got more and more black folks killing each other. God Almighty. You remember back in the day, especially in the South, even when you was growing up in certain areas, you ain't even have to lock your doors at night. You used to go to sleep with your doors open. You didn't need no air conditioning. You wasn't worried about nobody breaking in, robbing you, killing you. But this day, this century, oh, God Almighty. I remember when black folks looked out for each other. If you needed something, you used to speak to people. How you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? How was your day? God bless you. A nigga will kill you now for saying the wrong thing to him. Woo! You can come out of the club, accidentally bump a nigga with your shoulder, and they'll shoot you and kill you. Black folks, this Willie Lynch letter, please read it. Please. I done took your girl from you, and now you mad and ready to kill me. It's deep, y'all. This is why we can't get along as black folks, and we can't see past hatred. We can't see past our own color. We too busy looking at everybody else and judging everybody else. But the problem is ourselves. We don't have to keep living by this Willie Lynch stuff. We can make a change, but it takes all of us individually making that change. Somebody got killed the other day. Nigga got jacked for his car. Put the niggas versus the niggas. God. Put the light-skinned woman versus the dark-skinned woman. Put the smart nigga versus the dumb nigga. Too many educated black folks don't want to help the dumb nigga. Oh. That's what I hate when you got folk, and then the black woman, that's why he got the black woman versus the black man. Let a brother get out of the penitentiary and he out humping every day looking for a job, and he is really trying, he done changed his life, and you still got that one woman that's fussing at him. You ain't trying hard enough. You ain't doing this. You can find something. You ain't doing what you need to do. You out there playing around. You're going to be back in prison telling him everything that he don't need to hear. Instead of encouraging him, you steady kicking him away. Just like Willie Lynch was saying in her. God, gangsters, thugs, gangbanging. What set you from? You got niggas that stay on the same street and can't get along with each other. God Almighty. But got the nerve to holler out, I'm from here, I'm from there. You don't even, when it come down to fighting your own hood, you won't even get down with your own hood, because there's some niggas in your own hood can't stand you. Nigga versus nigga. Black on black crime. Willie Lynch proved that this letter was going to continue to keep on being in progress. God Almighty. Woo! House nigga, fear nigga. See, we don't like to read. See, I'm a studier. I read all the time. I read and look at different things, and it just amazes me when I read this a while back, how it is so true. Oh, JT, you agreeing with the white man? Oh, yeah. I'm agreeing with the white man because we have proven him right. Yeah. We have proven him right to 2000 going on 11 right now. We can look at the past and see how many niggas done killed niggas. We can see this. How many young niggas done been against the old nigga? How many sons are turned away from their father? How many mothers are turned away from their own daughters? We can't get along. This Willie Lynch syndrome. Read it.